We are no longer physicians. We're providers.
Ask your baby's permission.
Gay people, you have become a product. Should auto insurance cover STD? Are you freaking kidding me? So you demean us. You don't get a parade for a sexual preference. To not hurt the feelings of somebody with a fraction of my training. That a beaver's ass presented this to the world. It's a natural flavor. But you are literally an ice cube in a martini shaker. Ice cube in a martini shaker. Sounds like such a good thing. Welcome back
Sounds
to
like your idea of heaven.
Yes, Doctales with cocktails, which is like that scene from Strange Brew where me and Doug thought that drowning in beer would be like heaven, but actually it really sucks.
Okay. I don't know if anybody else got that one, but well, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And we haven't done an episode in a while. Maybe everybody's still in a turkey coma like I am, or catching up, or maybe you're in the big swing of things for Christmas. I don't know. What are you, Tim?
Yeah, I don't know. I ate way too much in Thanksgiving. It was completely unnecessary and overindulged, and it was not good. It ended poorly. I think I got I got some combination of various toxins, some not self-induced, some self-induced, and it ended poorly.
I will not.
She had earplugs in the middle of the night. Like I'm literally like barfing my guts out, like just both ends, just like absolute total gastrointestinal disaster area. And I woke up the next morning and I am just like destroyed. And May's like, how'd you sleep? And I'm like, I didn't sleep. My GI tract was trying to like exit my body.
I think I asked why you were still in bed since you were supposed to be at work. But anyway, you passed
awful.
that lovely gift along to me 2 days later.
Yes.
So I think it was toxins from work, the toxins from work kind. So anyway, we hope you all fared better than we did.
I have a toxic work environment. Not toxic from the people I work with. They are amazing. Toxic from the people I actually am paid to see because they're filled with toxins.
Hazards of the job.
Legitimate toxins.
That is what you signed up for.
Yes.
So
toxic work environment.
Whatever.
Like if you worked at a water treatment plant, that would be a toxic work environment.
Definitely.
Yeah.
A different kind of thing I wouldn't want to catch. Well, tonight Tim has a bunch of treats for us again.
Some of these, like honest to goodness, you just cannot make this stuff up. Like sometimes you read things and then you go and source it and research it, and you're like, if I was on a desert island for 1,000,000 years, I would never think of this. Potentially, these ones aren't that outrageous, but the first one is just fantastic. It's so.
We'll get
yummy.
along to all of those, as well as the cocktail of the evening, which is being poured in a crystal glass.
Yes.
And it has a nice, looks like champagne without the bubbles.
It is not champagne.
So grab your cups.
Way better.
And hang on and let's go. Oh.
Okay, I'm two-fisting. All right, let's go to the this segment here. Idiocracy is a prophecy, and I cannot believe this happened, but it is hilarious. Trump suggests Canada become the 51st state after Trudeau said tariff would kill economy. So apparently, according to the people there, Justin Trudeau, not in blackface this time, suggested to Trump that if he put a 25% tariff on all Canadian imports, because Canada basically is just a gigantic exporter to the United States. I think it's something like 80% or more of its exports go to the United States. So essentially, Canada's natural resources, oil, timber, all of these natural, tons of mining,
potash.
Yeah, it just
nickel.
It just goes to the United States, right?
Uranium.
And so Trump's like, you fix the border, or it's a 20. He does his Trump thing. And Justin Trudeau's like, well, if that happens, like you'll completely wipe out the Canadian economy. And Trump comes back and says, well, you're ripping us off to the tune of $100 billion a year in unfair trade practices, because the Canadian government will subsidize a certain industry, right? Be able to drop the prices and then export it. And Trudeau's like, well, yeah, but it'll wipe us out. You can't wipe us out. And Trump's like, okay, then become the 51st state. I don't give a shit. And guess what? You can be a governor because now it's a state. I know, and he literally said this. I know prime minister sounds better, but you can be a governor. Like the balls on this guy. Like he is the gangsterest gangster.
So what was Trudeau's response to that? Yeah, exactly. Nice joke.
Yeah, like seriously.
Pass. Well, he's going to be out of there soon enough anyway, so it'll be the next suckers post as governor.
Yeah, this is going to be. I have a prediction. If I can't remember his name,
they'll work something out.
I don't. Well, of course there will, and it's probably posturing, but the balls to actually say, yeah, well, you could just become the 51st state, and then somebody else at the table pipes up and says, yeah, but it would be a really liberal state, and Trump's like, okay, we'll divide it in two, a liberal one and a conservative one, and you can take the liberal one and put your blackface on and be gay and whatever else you are. We don't care.
More room for people to flee to from. I don't know that people want to flee up there, but it's cold.
Well, they forget about that. Yes, and we are in the grips of winter here in Florida for 1 week. Our 1 week of winter has arrived.
You don't even have pants on.
No. Our 1 week of winter has arrived, and it's a killer.
Did you put pants on yesterday?
Hell no.
I, however, went to Pentatonics last night. It was amazing. I finally got to see them. They were one of my all-time favorite bands. And it was very chilly up there in the Tampa on the waterfront. And we were very chilly in that Amalie Arena. And I was wearing pants, a cashmere sweater, a jacket. And all I can say is I wasn't dressed warm enough.
It was so funny. I went for a walk last week before work, and it was, I don't know, it was 45 or 46 degrees, so it wasn't that bad, and it was sunny, like it was nice out. And literally, I run into these people, and they're very nice, and they're like, "Oh, you're the doctor or whatever," and blah blah blah. And they had like all of this winter. It literally looked like they were part of the Shackleton expedition, and they're trying to find the South Pole. And it's like, well, it's 46 degrees and the sun is coming up. It's going to be beautiful. But I mean, yeah, I know we had to kill the dogs and eat them because it was so cold. I mean, it is so funny. Like, and you know how they say, like 40 is the new 30 or 20 or however when you move to a place like this, 60 is the new 35 below. It's pretty close.
I wouldn't say 60.
50.
But
50 is the new
40. I would say 40.
Oh man, 40 it's crazy.
Well,
it's insane. People.
Anyway, if you get a chance to see Pentatonics Christmas, do it. It was great, and you didn't have to suffer and see it. Okay, now before we get to the next segment, my wedding ring is literally falling apart as we speak.
Really?
I wonder if that's a bad omen.
I hope not.
If anybody local knows a good jeweler, let me know, because everything's
getting loose.
Broke into.
Were they welded together?
Yes. What does that mean? Since we've moved here, I was sharing last night about how everything is breaking that we did keep. You just fixed my flip-flop, my precious Javianas that are all probably
this is
10
very
years old, and they're $12 Javianas. My Birkenstocks are busted.
Yeah, but they're 35 years old.
Oh, they're not.
We have children younger than those.
No, no, not these. But all my electronic devices, things just like every time I turn around. So I don't know. It's an omen from Satan. Anyway.
You're doing old women stuff. It's like, yeah, my electronic device that I've had since the Carter administration doesn't work anymore.
Well, anyway, now my wedding ring is just biffed. So
it isn't biffed. The weld came apart. You just have to weld them back together.
Okay.
Okay, this one is great.
Till separation do us part
No,
here.
Ew. Okay, so this is really interesting. It's not you, but it's a very interesting like a disease or event that can happen to you. It says acquired savant syndrome may increase understanding of creativity. So, what is acquired savant syndrome? I will read this article because it is awesome. So
acquired savant system.
Acquired. So if you're a savant, you're very gifted at something without necessarily any training, right? Like, so everyone is familiar with autistic savant. So kids are, like they have a neurological problem that gives them autism, but they may be like an expert at counting or math or music or something like that, right? So then this is not autistic savant. This is acquired savant. 15 years ago, Derek Amato was fooling around with some old high school buddies when he took a flying leap into a swimming pool to catch a toss football. He plunged to the bottom of the shallow end, hitting the left side of his head hard against the concrete. Amato, then a corporate sales director who was about 40, was diagnosed at the emergency department with a severe concussion. For the next 5 days, he mostly slept. When he felt better, he decided to go over to a friend's place. While there, he saw a piano keyboard sitting in the corner and was inexplicably drawn to it. I love that word, inexplicably. When he sat down, he didn't just tinker with the keys. He began producing complex and emotional chords and melodies that were unfamiliar to him. He played for about 5 hours, feeling as though the music were bursting out of his skin. I was doing things I didn't know I could do, said Amato, who had never previously played the piano. He had dabbled with guitar and drums as a kid, but considered himself an athlete, not a musician. Perplexed by what was happening, Amato took his mother to a music store the next day and turned on a digital piano. After a couple of minutes of hearing him play, his mother started crying. When the clerk asked how long he had been playing the piano, Amato said, "About the last 8 hours of my life." So this is a case of what's called acquired savant syndrome, where you have a stroke or a brain injury, a concussion, and you gain a skill that you did not have before.
Yeah. Have you heard of very many patients ever having that?
No,
I have not.
It's super, super rare. In the rest of this article, they interview a neurologist and she's like, I don't know if it's real. It might be some uncovered whatever. But there seems to be enough cases of this, like where people, I believe if I got this right, they get hit in the head and then they can speak a different language. I mean, it goes all the way back to the Flintstones when Fred got hit on the head and he became a Frederick and he had all these manners.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. And so then they had to hit him on the head again. Because like Barney said, if a hit on the head made him Frederick, maybe a hit on the head again makes him back to Fred.
And so they did?
They did. So I decided that instead of, investing money and whatnot, I'm just going to learn how to play piano the fast way.
And hit the piano?
I have this beautiful Stanley hammer. And I figure, you just give her a whack in the right place and
you'll be playing piano along with Jesus. That's what's going to be happening.
Yeah.
So if you could, I don't know,
I just thought
get whacked in the head. Okay, wait. I had my opportunity. Remember kids were playing whatever that, it wasn't tetherball, but it was baseball on this device where it was attached to the ball was on a string or a wire, I don't know, that went ahead, and the kid on the other end, it was like a pitching machine type thing. Anyway, I was there and whack, someone swung through and whacked me on the head. I was kind of out for 5 seconds. But lo and behold, I didn't acquire any great talent.
No, because normally what you require is a diaper and drool coming out of the side of your mouth with bad head injuries. But that's the part they don't. It's like the risk-benefit ratio of getting smacked on the head and then learning how to, and then knowing how to play piano.
Cool how it's like when you think about it, how that can happen, because obviously, scramble some neurons in that part of the brain, but how it actually suddenly can do a skill, like it makes no sense to me if you haven't had a lot of background and training, like how suddenly you could just speak another language, like because usually that's all based on memory and learning. So that's kind of freaky.
Well, but it gets back to the very basics of the basics, right? Because, you know, after we have interviewed Eben Alexander and John Burke, I have really come to change my thinking on consciousness.
Oh, for sure. But how like a skill or language or something like that where you've not really learned it before and it just pops out of nowhere?
No. But if you look at consciousness from a completely different perspective, right? And if you assume consciousness exists outside of your brain, right? So your mind is not just your brain. Your mind is, you know, sourcing, you know, consciousness that's outside of you, coming from other people, etc. Right? And your brain is just the consciousness filter. It's just the you know, like the mental tactile device for which you access consciousness. Then it makes sense that if you altered something in your brain, you could potentially not access elements of consciousness, like if you were demented or had brain damage, or you could access more consciousness because maybe it knocks some part of your brain out, which opens you up to a larger consciousness. Because that's the whole point, right? Like when you read these books about people, you know, meditating and manifesting and all of these different things that happen, the common theme is fascinating to me. It's get out of the way. It's get out of your conscious mind. That's the part that's so crazy, right? Like it's be still and know that I am God. It's not try really hard and figure out everything in your life and know I'm God. It's be still and know that I am God. It is meditate and never think of the outcome. Think of, you know, what you want to become, what you want to manifest in your life. Pray about that, meditate on that, and then let it go. It's always about letting it go. Be still and know that I am God is the exact same concept of meditating and then leaving the consequences and the results to the universe or whatever, however the New Age people put it. They're the same thing, which is fascinating because it's getting out of your conscious mind and getting out of the way of yourself. That's what I find unbelievably fascinating. So maybe, you know, you get hit on the head just right and, you know, you're Eddie Van Halen.
So you're saying he was manifesting being Elton John?
I don't know.
Okay, so if you could just manifest anything and to get, you know, talent after being knocked on the noggin with this hammer, we're going to do an experiment. What would it be?
Wow, that's really hard. Because I'm so freaking awesome already.
Oh, it shouldn't be that deep. I mean, come on. Something just a little shallow.
Manifest anything?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I think that's actually a deep question.
Well, I'm going for the more superficial version. You know, it's kind of like, if you won the lottery, what would you do? Or I don't know. If you got whacked on the head, what would you do? If you could.
Well, I would manifest like Joe Rogan's podcast if I could do that.
Well, I wouldn't say that's like this.
Which I don't know what that means.
Talent that you can't. I don't know.
You can acquire that.
Yeah.
Like, would it be great to just like instantly play the guitar
you
really
being
good?
Like Shaquille O'Neal, that would be something.
Yes.
Because there's no way it's going to happen like this.
No, but realistically, like if there was something like it, would it be like learning other languages? Would it be the ability to write poetry? Would it be the ability to write music? Would it be
I would want to be like Amy Lee.
Sing?
Yeah. I wish I had an amazing gift like, you know, Lauren Daigle, Amy Lee.
I would
something like
that. You know, it's interesting because
then because I can't sing and I've always been jealous of people that had the musical talent to go with it, to put it out there. There you go.
No, I think this is a great thought experiment because I think, you know, if I could just pick up a guitar and be like unbelievably amazing, that would be great. But if that was actually really important to me, I'd have actually worked on that, and I haven't. I've just dabbled, and it's kind of fun, and it's cool to have guitars. And it's never gone that much further because I never really cared. It's nothing like
right,
the
but I can't. If I cared about singing, it ain't gonna get any better than
No,
what it
I
is.
get that. No, it would be like there's a lot of things that would be cool, but like when you actually
Well,
think of it,
you think of it while you go through the rest of
if I could actually manifest
the
a
rest of
single
the evening.
thing,
You got to think about that one.
oh, okay. So this is just completely.
Okay, we're moving along.
Yeah,
Tim
this is
can't
another
think of anything.
idiocracy is prophecy one because this is really dumb. So I'm going to add this to the old show Ruby here. NFL star Patrick Mahomes fined more than $14,000 for violent gesture during Buffalo Bills game. So what did he do? Did he grab his neck like he was choking somebody? Did he do the slit to the wrist thing? No, it was a violent gesture. He made like the shooting handguns or the shooting like he's shooting a rifle because, he had a pass go on target and they scored. And somehow the NFL has become...
Well, because think about it. Okay, and this is... Wait, how much little I know. He plays for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Correct.
And he did it to the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, what? So the Indians and the Cowboys are...
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
No. Because the exact same thing happened in college football this weekend. Some kid did like the pistol shooting thing after they scored a touchdown, and they got a 15-yard penalty for a violent gesture because we have emasculated every single freaking sport in the world.
No, it's the anti-gun.
Yeah, it's because Patrick Mahomes' thumb and index finger is a violent weapon. So it's so completely insane.
So if your kid's at home biting his toast into the shape of a little minigun
now he's violent. Well, maybe he's a speed shooter. Maybe he's target shooting. Maybe he's like, that pass was on target. Bang, bang. Like, it's so completely insane. They named the freaking football team the Buffalo Bills after a freaking guy that had a shooting show. He rode all around the Western United States with who? Annie Oakley, because she was a sharpshooter.
Right. But,
and now it's a violent gesture. It's like, come on, get your fucking balls out of your wife's purse, excuse my French, and nut up NFL. This is insane. Oh, man.
They're just, gotta play it safe.
It's not safe. It's stupid. That's not safe.
Don't want to show any signs of violence, any gestures,
any
hints of weapons.
Violent gesture. Because when I go into a bank, I just make the little handgun shooting signs, and they give you money or they arrest you. It's like it's so completely insane. Like it just that is awful. But speaking of shooting, on the positive side, this is unbelievable. Owen Burns, 13-year-old hero from Michigan who saved his 8-year-old sister from being kidnapped with a slingshot. He struck the kidnapper on the chest and head by firing marble and a rock from his slingshot. Perpetrator was later identified with a marble-induced injury in his forehead. Oh, that is a great story.
That's cool.
He goes to the hospital.
He's the little Daniel.
David.
David.
No, it is like David and Goliath with a slingshot. He shoots it at the guy, doesn't harm his sister, hits the guy twice, and puts a marble divot in this guy's forehead for which he needs medical care, and he gets arrested. Like, that is the greatest story in the world. I love it. But you know what was really bad? They then arrested the 13-year-old kid because he made the little handgun signs.
I was going to say.
No, that part I made up.
He did the slingshot gesture.
That part I made up. No, he literally shot him with the slingshot. And it was funny because he interviewed his mother after, and she's like, yeah, I was always kind of angry with him because he was shooting stuff around the house with the slingshot. Now I'm kind of glad. Now I'm kind of glad that he practiced.
That shit went to good use after all.
Yeah, it's like, well, and like, can you imagine how, like, stressed or adrenaline you'd be, like, shooting at somebody like that's literally kidnapping your sister? And like, I got multiple charges, intent to injure, potential murder, blah, 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 blah. They threw the book at him because he had a divot like in his head, a divot in his head from a marble that the kid shot with a slingshot.
Even better if he took his eye out or something stupid.
Like,
Oh
it's
my
so
gosh.
great. It's so great. Yes, we need to get to that. We need to get to that right now. What are we drinking?
Well, here we go. Cocktail of the week is called the Annie's Blade Salted Caramel Flavored Vodka from the Loaded Cannon Distillery right down the road from us. I think you could, you wouldn't want to walk there.
No, but it is 1.8 miles of electric bike riding. And
what's fun is the distillery is something that it's like a little Cheers bar. You can watch them making all their cocktails. All the flavors are natural, and
this
is one of the best.
This is like eating a truffle that makes you not hate people.
Straight out of the bottle. How all vodka should be, but
we told our son, we said, you got to try this. He's like, that sounds awful. And he's like, man, is that good?
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. And it's all natural flavors. They don't flavor it with like fake, like it's actual.
It's like a caramel truffle. It is delicious.
No, it is really good.
So thank you, friends at a Loaded Cannon Distillery, for making such a fun flavored cocktail. They have a few other amazing ones, top of the line. I mean, they have rum and whiskey and gin, but the
rum is actually, I'm not a rum person, but I really do enjoy it. When we go there for trivia night on Thursdays, I usually just drink bourbon because I really like their bourbon.
Mm-hmm. They have the most amazing limoncello ever, as well as something called Nolacello, which is like an orange flavor. It's kind of neat. And then a few other, there's all kinds of flavors. Some I'm not so fond of, but this one is top of the line. So if you're local, go check out Loaded Cannon Distillery's salted caramel.
They had
perfect for Christmas.
Yes, it's perfect for Christmas. They had a little event for their 5-year anniversary or whatever it was, and we went to it, and we talked to one of our friends that does some volunteering for them, and et cetera, and he was like, some guy came in and bought 7 cases. And
I think that was over half of what they had made.
Yeah, because they had just released it. They had a release party the week before, and somebody came in and bought 7 cases.
Amazing. That's how good it is. Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's it. It's 7 case worthy. It's sponge worthy, as the name would say. I forgot to upload the meme of the week, but I will describe it because it's very easy. It's 2 feet on the beach, and it says, "Pray for Florida. It's 48 degrees, and we don't have pants." And I posted it on Instagram and Facebook.
And I changed the comment. Did you see that?
No, I did not. But it is.
I put disclaimer on there that those were not our feet, because those are mighty ugly feet, and it looks like we took the picture at the beach, standing there, the cute little photo of your feet in the sand with the water washing up. And I'm like, whose ugly feet are those? They could have got some pretty feet. You could have got a picture of me doing that at the beach.
Well, it's yes.
Anyway, not our feet.
But it is weird. Like, we're suffering with the 1 week of winter, and next week it's
suffering.
Next week it's supposed to go back up to
can't go in the pool.
85.
Can't go in the
pool.
But
it was crazy. I was kiteboarding last week, and it was awesome. Like, all I had on was a pair of shorts and a sun shirt, which is whoever invented those sun shirts that you wear in the water, so you don't have to wear sunscreen. Like that, they should get the Nobel Prize for that. That is like the greatest thing ever. And so that was good. And the water was still probably close to 80. And, it's the end of November. And
boo-hoo.
And now it's like you need an ice pick.
You
need an ice pick to go across the street.
Yeah.
Like an ice axe.
It's just hard on the system being in that, no matter what you used to. People come down here in the summer and whine and moan and complain because it's
awful.
Really hot and humid.
It's really hot and humid.
And so if you're not used to it, just so that.
But you do get used to it. Like, especially when I'm working, because you go into these buildings and they're like
that hot and humid.
They're really, really, well, they have to, especially a hospital system, they have to crank up the air conditioning to get the humidity down, right? So
Oh,
that
I
it's
know,
not.
but that's tough. And I'm a person that used to say, it's never too hot, but that's pretty brutal.
No, when it's 95 and 60% humidity, that gets your attention.
No. When it's 95 and 95%
It's
humidity,
not. It's never 95. It's never
close. It's
Nope.
high 80 sometimes.
Sometimes,
oh, yeah,
but
it's way more.
that's on the very edge of a thunderstorm. Like when you're out there and it's not real cloudy and it's hot as hell in the summer, it's not much above 65%. Seriously, it's still super humid because that's
I don't know
still
if I believe that.
unbelievably humid. But it's just
It gets higher than that.
it does, but not on an ongoing basis. Like 65% humidity is unbelievably awful.
I think it's way higher. We'll have to
Nope,
check it out.
I guarantee.
All right. So thanks for chiming in the comments. Leslie, thanks for joining us. Long time no see.
Yeah, I know.
And she was tuning in. This is really cool.
Gary's like, they saw the sun for 20 minutes and it got up to 38.
I had to share that. 38. And the worst of that, you're right, is sun for 20 minutes. That's the part that killed me about the Pacific Northwest.
Was the death blow for us.
The lack of sun is rough. I don't mind putting on a coat. I like wearing a sweater, and I don't really mind it.
It's interesting because
I'm a Canadian girl at heart.
It is, but it's interesting because Maine was always, I like the jungle. I don't care if it's humid, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, man, I don't know about that. The summer's going to be pretty bad. And now I'm the one like, it could never go below 75 and I would be perfectly happy.
And I'm like, I'm missing the seasons now.
I don't
After
miss the season.
Second year here, I'm like, give me back my.
It's like missing syphilis. Seasons, syphilis, they sound the same. I don't miss the seasons.
Well, I don't know about missing syphilis because I can't speak to that, but I do.
What's a metaphor?
Well, you can say whatever
it's a
you
metaphor.
Like. It's free speech.
So, well, yes.
It's a metaphor. Yes, he has not had syphilis. Not in the 32 years that I've known him.
No.
All right. Anything else for us tonight?
I have no other.
Any other nonsense you want to share?
Not really.
But I do want to share what we recorded today. Because I think it's coming out this week.
It's either coming out tomorrow or the beginning of next week, but if
Queen D is watching,
holy,
she can share.
Moly. I have never, and this is absolutely not hyperbolic, I have never been more excited from an innovation, mind-blowing, holy cow, this is a new way to do things perspective of anyone we have interviewed than the interview today that we recorded with Annie Schoonover. He created a cost-sharing way to negotiate healthcare bills to basically half or less than half, and then pay for them with a crowdsource that you join.
So it is a health insurance plan.
I
wouldn't say
it's not
health
insurance
plan. So okay,
that's the brilliance.
Well, I like to say that because people go, "Oh,
no, it's a health cost share.
Health cost share plan." So basically, it's a way to get your medical expenses covered, a way that you can share and support other people, almost like in a ministry kind of a way. That is so much less money than any kind of health insurance plan you're ever going to be in.
Because this is what people don't understand. You can't just make a health insurance company. Like the regulators have pushed the bar so unbelievably high. So let's say like you're Joe Blow electrical company, and you build your company into a 25 or 50 or $100 million a year electrical company, and you want to insure your employees like Kaiser. Kaiser Insurance came out of the Kaiser steel mill. They wanted to, provide healthcare insurance. So they just built this thing out of the fact that they had these steel mills and these shipyards. You can't do it because you have to have so much freaking money in the bank to be an insurance company. So what basically they wrote legislation so that any startup insurance company in health insurance can't exist because they don't have access to the capital of these gigantic 150-year-old multinational corporations, right? So what Andy did is he just said, hey, if you pay cash, every hospital, every physician, they'll all negotiate the price down. So he figured that out, built a system where you have health advocates that literally are your friends figuring out how to get your costs down.
How to get you maybe even
So negotiating the
a
prices
better
and maybe even a better physician for whatever. And then the most you pay is $500 and the rest is funded by all the other people in the cost share. And he said they've had 0.2% in 3 years of the 10,000 people they cover that haven't been able to get their bills covered. Everyone gets paid for $500 because they negotiate the absolute crap out of the bills and then everyone shares the expense. It's completely, it's mind-blowing because it's so common sense, but completely ignored. People assume you have to have health insurance or you're going to die. No, you can just pay for it. And you can pay for it at a rate that in most cases is half of what the insurance company would pay.
At least.
It's crazy. It is such a cool episode.
Yeah, but when you say that, and then people go, yeah, but if I'm going to have a hip replacement or a
nope.
bypass or cancer.
Nope. They've covered all of that.
I can't afford. So yes, you have to listen to the episode because
we felt exactly the same way. We're like, nah, this is going to work until it doesn't work, right? It's going to work perfect.
Until the big event.
It's going to work perfect until I need chemo. And nope, they have been able to cover. And if everyone did this, right? Can you imagine? Can you imagine the difference? Costs would plummet because physicians and hospital systems would be negotiating and competing with people for cash, not negotiating with these giant C-suite companies like United Healthcare, right? Like $387 billion a year. And he gave us a quote where if you take the 4 biggest health insurance companies, was it like Cigna, United, Humana, whatever, and you combine them, it's more than the defense budget of the United States. And they're health insurance companies. They provide no measurable service. They do not do surgery. They do not prescribe drugs. They do not make drugs. They do not do physical therapy. They do no healthcare service other than move money. You give somebody your money in a health insurance company, and they redistribute it back to you based on a contract that makes them rich as hell.
Yep.
It's absolutely insane. Why not pay directly with your own money? It actually makes way more sense.
And
I said actually so many times. If you do that, it's like Beetlejuice. You go actually, and then you turn into Tucker Carlson.
Oh, well, that would be
you.
Can I pick? How about Ryan Reynolds, maybe?
Yeah, because then you got a unbelievable nicotine habit, and you go ha 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 ha. That's what happens.
Ryan Reynolds.
Not Ryan. No, Ryan Reynolds would be way. That would be a lot more fun.
I'm like, can I pick? What you get to?
I like Tucker, but Ryan would be a lot more fun.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got the great sense of humor.
Anyway, you got to listen to the episode because should we direct them to the site?
Absolutely. Join crowdhealth.com. Join.
You can check it out as well so that you can see what it costs, because the cost, I was looking at what we pay and what I pay. It's still less money than even my deductible that I pay to go to the
with insurance.
My BS insurance.
No, like we are literally thinking of jettisoning our insurance and not paying for it, even though my employer pays for like half or 2/3 of mine, or whatever.
$20,000 out of our pocket,
and just doing this because I consume, we don't consume that much healthcare right now. If I keep ranting, I may consume more. I don't know, but
So, to that note,
Gary, this has to be shown.
And they do.
That is the best quote ever.
They do have we do have a code where you can get a discount. Of course.
BS free.
BS free. It gets you 3 months at a discounted rate for, I think, 3 months for $99 a month instead of.
They are profit-taking gatekeepers telling you what healthcare you can't have.
It's exactly the truth. If you listen,
exactly the truth.
Yeah.
That is exactly the truth. And I rant my look. I was a gatekeeper. I worked for insurance companies. I did 20 years of utilization management, where you sit there getting paid. I don't know what the equivalent would have been, $150 an hour for me to tell you what you can't have. Like, how does that freaking make sense? Like, how does that make it cheaper? We had an entire team of utilization management, a couple doctors, 2 or 3 nurses that like combed through the medical records to see if something was approved or not approved. Like, how does that make sense? Just let me pay for it. Let me be the judge of whether it makes sense to, have whatever procedure. I'll decide that between me and my doctor, and I'll second opinion or whatever.
Yes.
But it's none of the no. I'll give my money to somebody else because obviously a guy in a gigantic building in New York City making $10 million a year as the CEO of United Healthcare, somehow he cares way more about my financial well-being than me. Obviously.
Well, he doesn't, because he's now dead.
No, because he's now dead. Because believe it or not, kids, the CEO of United Healthcare was murdered this morning at 6:45 Eastern time. He walked out of the Hilton Hotel in New York City and was gunned down by a guy in a mask who rode away on a bicycle, and no one knows who it is or why it happened. That is freaky stuff. Holy crap.
I can't believe you didn't share that earlier.
Well, it wasn't appropriate. Now it was.
Fit right in there.
Yeah, just like
wrap that up.
Fit that in there. No, you can't, holy smokes. But because the solution is not to kill the CEO of a multinational corporation. That would be bad.
But this is an amazing option to bypass the whole system. And it's something we are going to be heavily looking at. What? Your daughter works for the company? That's Lindsay Carroll.
Wow. Cool.
That's pretty cool. So yeah, in the interview, we did ask about, we know where the headquarters is out of Austin, but they do have people throughout all 50 states and working for them. And we're super excited.
Jacked.
We're super excited about it because it sounds like an amazing
option.
There's a lot of other things out there. We looked at some of the other alternatives, the MediShare, and I forget what the other one was. And I didn't like the restrictions, and not necessarily the religious based nonsense. I mean, they had a lot of pre-existing conditions that they wouldn't. In any kind of pre-existing condition, almost it was like it nixed off of there. Or if you've had hypertension for a long time and then developed something, I don't want to speak too freely, but it was kind of more restrictive than what I really liked.
This is amazing. There's 2 things they don't cover. You can't get into the club if you're obese or if you smoke. That's it. So everything, they have type 1 diabetics, and some of their happiest customers are type 1 diabetics because they're saving so much a month on all of the supplies they need and all the, they're just paying cash.
Yeah.
And they're getting.
Well, that's pretty exciting, Tristan. Thanks for sharing that with us. So now,
that's great.
Now we know someone else involved in the company. That's really good to hear, because we had just a blast.
We were very impressed, to say the least.
Talking to Andy, and very impressed with the whole thing. I'm literally want to sign up now.
Well, I want to go work for the company.
Well,
I could be like a reformed.
And can we move to Austin so we can be close to the grandkids that come in the future? No.
They are still in the bodies of their ancestors, as they say.
Well,
have not been produced yet. I don't want to. No, I like it here. I like ocean. I like having an ocean. I like having kiteboarding 25 minutes from my house. That's very important.
Well, I like to be close to next of kin. We can.
Yeah, well.
We can visit via Zoom, FaceTime each other. Anyway, well, let's wrap this up, and you guys can all go check out the page. Stay tuned for the episode when it drops.
Join crowdhealth.com.
There you go.
Very
And
good.
type in the code BS3MD for a
BS
discount.
free.
Oh, sorry. Yes, BS free.
BS free.
Not MD.
And
BS free.
yeah, we are. This is, I hope, especially with the Maha stuff and how things are potentially going to change and Doge and all the, regulatory stuff, that things like these kind of innovative ways of paying blow up, because they will revolutionize healthcare. We need more direct primary care. We need more innovative ways to pay for healthcare, and we need way more people owning their health. And we will save so much freaking money. It's not even funny. You'll be so tired of losing or winning. I mean, you're tired of losing from Sleepy Joe. You're going to be so tired of winning. I don't want to win anymore. I've just won way too much.
You have all that much more money for your kite surfing fund.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's we're gonna hit the old little exit button here and see you kids later.
Good night.